Hi everyone, good morning. Yeah. So everyone able to see my screen online? Can you confirm anyone? Am
Yes,
I
sir.
audible? Yeah.
Yes,
Anyone can you confirm?
yes,
Right.
sir.
Yeah. So in the last session, what we discussed about DevOps introduction. Sorry, question and answers. Right. So first session is DevOps introduction. Second session is cloud introduction. Third session is question and answers, like technical questions, general questions, right? So which we discussed. Three demos completed, right? So already WhatsApp group created and the people added into WhatsApp group. So today also we are allowing the same URL. Okay. So if you are interested, you can add into WhatsApp group as soon as possible. Okay. So because the meeting link will be changed very soon. Okay. And also we share all the information in the group only, WhatsApp group only, right? So everyone, if you are interested, you can add into WhatsApp group ASAP. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So today we are going to discuss about SDLC. So before going to cloud, first of all, we need to understand the software development lifecycle process, right? So SDLC full form is software development lifecycle, right? Yeah. So in the life cycle, we have different stages are available. These are the stages, right? So developer develop the code. So once development is completed, the code should be tested. So after that, we deploy the code on respective target servers. Okay. So this is Agile. Currently, we are using Agile methodology. What is Agile? Anyone? It's a parallel development, right? So currently, we are using parallel development. So before Agile, we used to use waterfall methodology. What is waterfall? Sequential development, right? So in waterfall, so development, for example, if any simple application development that takes minimum 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, like that. So when we switch to Agile, so within the 2 weeks, within the 4 weeks, within the 6 weeks, within the 2 months, we can complete the activities. Because in Agile, what we will do, we create sprints. Sprint. What is sprint? Anyone? Yeah, sprint is a timeline. For example, one application development divided into bits and pieces. So that bits and pieces we can call it as sprint. Sprint is a timeline. So sprint can be 1 week to 1 month, right? So 1 week sprint, for example, one sprint started today. So by this coming Sunday EOD, that should be completed. That is 1 week sprint. So 1 month sprint, for example, 5th August, one sprint started today. So by 4th September, that should be completed, right? So sprint can be 1 week to 1 month. See here. So these are the different stages we use in, yeah, development environment in Agile methodology. So plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate. What are those? Plan. So plan is, for example, one application development is there. For that application development, so developers they plan, they gather the requirement, So what they need to perform, what they need to develop. First of all, they need to gather the requirement. For example, there is a Flipkart application, right? So Flipkart application, what are the design required? What are the tabs required? What are the backend database required? What are the front-end UI required? So on which code that application should be developed? These are all gather should be happened first. Okay. Yeah. So after that, code is nothing but developers start the development, right? So they can use Java development or Python development or Scala or whatever, right? .NET. So once they develop, that code should be deployed. That code should be deployed, right? So as the DevOps engineer, we deploy the code. So this plan code will be taken care by developers only. We don't need to worry about developing part, coding part. So we can build the code, whatever the code developed by developers. Once the code is built, so testers will test the code. Testing should be happened, right? So before deploying onto production or any other environments, the testing should be happened, right? So testers they use the unit test cases to test the code, right? Yeah. After that, we can, once testing is completed, that will move to release. What is release? Yeah, that is ready to deploy, right? So once it is moved to release, so finally we deploy the code on respective target servers, right? Once we deploy the code, that will be operate, so we can access through internet, right? Yeah, I give you examples here. SDLC, software development lifecycle, right? So normal in real-time project flow. What is the flow? Let's try to understand here. So this flow is very very important. So every organization they are following this flow. Okay, yeah. So first of all, developers they work on their local workspace. What is workspace, anyone? So this is a local workspace. For example, so two developers are working on their local workspace. Okay. So local workspace is a local system, local laptop or desktop. Okay. So this local workspace you can call it as Git local. So local workspace is normal folder, right? So it's a simple folder. In that they start the development. They create one, they initialize as a repository, local repository, which is Git repository, and they start working on the Git repository. So developers, for example, developer A, developer A, developer B. Both are working on same application development. This both are working on same development application like any application. It can be digital application or normal application, any application. So in local Git, they start the development. Once development is completed, what they will do? They push the code to GitHub. So which is a remote repository. So currently we are using Agile methodology. We discussed already, right? In Agile methodology, yeah, we use the same Git flow, GitHub, Jenkins. This is the same flow. So this is a remote repository, remote repo, which is we can say GitHub. So basically, what is Git? Git and ఏంటి అసలు, right? Yeah. So Git is a repository tool or version control tool. What is repository? Where we store our data, where developers store the source code. Is nothing but repository. It can be any data. It can be binary files, image files, video files, audio files, right? Spreadsheets, whatever, right? Where a developer store the data, which is a repository. What is version control? What is version control? Anyone?
ప్రెసెంట్ మనం ఒక వర్షన్ చేస్తాం కదా అది రిలీజ్ చేశాక నెక్స్ట్ పాత వర్షన్ కావాలి అనుకుంటే మనం యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాం.
Right, right. Yes. So version control system track the changes, different versions developers prepare, right? So if you want to call, yeah, if you want to call the previous version, we can call back. So here version control system, for example, so 10 developers are working on the application development. Who is developing front end UI? Who is developing back end API development? Who is working on database? Who is preparing plugins, patches, right? So how can we track? By using the version control system. So this version control system allows you to give the comments. Who did changes? When did changes? And also what purpose did changes? Did changes. Based on these comments, it will track the version. Who did changes? For example, Ram did changes. When did changes? By 9 a.m. IST did some changes, right? So what purpose did changes? Due to some production issue, prod issue, did some changes. Okay. So based on these comments, Git will track the versioning. So who is doing what, right? Easily it will track by using the comments. who did changes, when did changes, what purpose did changes, based on these comments, right? Yeah, fine. So in local Git, developer develop the code. Once development is completed, they push the code to GitHub. So this is our code. Our code is here currently. So Git and GitHub both are developer tools. We don't need to worry about. Okay. So our role starts from Jenkins. As a DevOps engineer, our role starts from Jenkins. So our next tool is Jenkins. This is Jenkins. What is Jenkins? What Jenkins will do? Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. What is CI/CD? Yeah. So continuous integration, continuous deployment, or continuous delivery. Okay. So in DevOps, we have multiple tools are there. All the tools are individual tools. One tool will not communicate other tool. Jenkins is the mediator tool. It will communicate all the tools. It will integrate all the tools by installing plugins. You understand it, right? Everyone. So in DevOps, we have multiple tools are there, right? So all the tools are individual tools. One tool will not communicate other tools because so they cannot communicate each other. So Jenkins is the mediator tool. It will integrate all the tools, it will communicate all the tools by installing plugins. For example, so I want to pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins, for which I need to install GitHub plugin in Jenkins. So if you want to pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins, first of all, we need to install one plugin, GitHub plugin. So what is plugin, anyone? What is plugin? Yeah, it is an open source software, right? So GitHub plugin we need to install. It is a package, it is a software. Once we install the plugin, then Jenkins will start communicating with the GitHub, right? In Jenkins, what we will do, we prepare jobs. What is job? So normally in the Agile methodology, so we don't need to pull the code manually. We always run the jobs. In Linux, we used cron jobs, right? Cron jobs, right? The same way here also, we prepare jobs here, right? So we prepare jobs and we trigger the job. Once we trigger the job, this code will be pulled from GitHub to Jenkins. Okay. So manually we don't pull the code. So here by using Jenkins only, we can pull the code, we can push the code, we can deploy the code. Once we pull the code, whatever code we pulled, which is we can say raw code. Raw code. What is raw code? Anyone? Yeah. Unstructured code, unformatted code. So this is in different formats, different files available in this raw code, right? So this raw code directly we cannot deploy onto respective target servers, right? This web servers, application servers will not be allowed this raw code, right? Yeah, this is a, for example, this is the app server, or we can say Tomcat server. So finally, whatever code developed by developers, that code should be deployed onto application server. Once we deploy that code, that will be accessible through internet, right? So Flipkart, there is a Flipkart, Amazon shopping site. So these are also applications, right? Someone developed this. Once that is deployed, we can access through internet, right? So here we pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins, which is a raw code. So raw code will not understand by application servers. That is why we require one more tool, which is Maven. So what is Maven? What Maven will do? Yeah. Maven is a build tool, or else we can say project management tool also. Project management tool. So Maven is a build tool which generates artifacts. What is artifact? Anyone?
like ఒక స్ట్రక్చర్ లో వస్తుంది సార్ జార్ ఫైల్ మ్యాప్ ఫైల్
Yes. Yeah. So artifact is a archive file, binary file. So whatever raw code we pulled from GitHub to Jenkins, that raw code will not understand by application servers. That is why we integrated one more tool, which is Maven. So Maven take this raw code and convert it into one artifact, which is a binary file. So for example, here Java development is going on. Java development. Yeah, developers working on Java development, right? So in development, three types of applications are available. Three types of applications. What are those? Application development and also web application development and also enterprise application development. So these are the three types of application development, right? Any coding, not only Java, .NET, Python development, any development. So three types of developments available: desktop application, web application, and also enterprise. So if the developers are working on desktop application, so what is desktop application, anyone? Desktop application. So for example, calculator is the desktop application. Paintbrush, desktop application. Media player, desktop application, right? So my calculator you cannot access. Your calculator I cannot access. So that will work in local system, which is desktop application, right? So if the developers are working on desktop application, Maven generates jar file, right? Yeah, Java archive file. So if the developers are working on web development, web application. So web applications are like through internet we can access, right? So if the developers are working on web application, so Maven generates WAR file, web archive file. If the developers are working on enterprise application, so it generates Maven generates ER file, enterprise archive file. So based on the development, application development, Maven generate the respective artifacts. Okay. Once it is generated artifact, so for example, war file generated here, right? So this war file will be give back to Jenkins. Jenkins push the war file to application server. Here we deploy the war file. Clear, right, everyone? Up here it is clear, right? For example, in your laptop, you have 1,000 documents are there. Any PDFs or spreadsheets or whatever documents. Okay. So those documents I asked you to send me. How can you send that documents? Yeah. Instead of attaching all the documents to the email, you can convert into one single file, one binary file, right? That you can attach to your email and you can send it across, right? So the same way, Maven takes the raw code and convert into one jar file or war file or ER file as a single file. So that format only understood by application servers, right? It will convert into one respective format, war file, jar file, ER file. That will give back to Jenkins. Jenkins push the war file to application server. Online guys, any questions up to here? Anyone? Anyone having any questions? You can
What
ask
are
your
enterprise
questions if you have any
applications?
questions. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Your voice is a bit low.
How about
Can you speak louder?
examples of enterprise applications?
Right. Enterprise application is digital applications like so millions of requests will be received by servers. Enterprise level, advanced level, that will be covered. Practical, we'll see that. Okay. While working on the tools, we'll see that practical. Millions of requests will be received by servers within a minute. Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Up here it is clear, right, everyone? Now, so fine. So here developer develop the code and DevOps is what we will do. We can integrate all the tools. For example, if you want to integrate Tomcat with the Jenkins, what we have to do? We need to install one plugin, right? If you want to integrate Maven, you need to install one plugin. So Jenkins is the mediator. Jenkins is the mediator. We can integrate all the tools with the Jenkins, right? So in CI/CD, so this we can say build and release process. build and release process. So every project team, they're following the same flow, same process, right? Yeah, this is the build and release process. So developer develop the code. DevOps, yes, we are integrating all the tools. We are deploying the application. So where the testing will be happen, where the testing will be happen, right? So in GitHub level, one testing will be happened by, yeah, one testing will be performed by testers, and Jenkins level also, Maven level also testing will be happened, right? So once testing is completed, so we have one more tool here, which is very important tool that we can integrate here, which is Sonar code review tool. Sonar code review tool. So what is Sonar code review? What it will do, right? Sonar code review tool also developer tool. We don't need to work on the Sonar code review tool. So this is also developer tool. So what is Sonar? What it will do, right? So Sonar is a code review tool. So every project team, they are maintaining some code standards, right? So once testing is completed, so testers and developers, they coordinate and they review the code, right? So how they review, any duplicate lines are there, duplicate lines, or any fixes, fixes are there, any errors are there, right? So developers, what they will do, they create metrics on the Sonar code review tool, metrics, right? So based on the metrics, Sonar will work. If any duplicate lines are there, right? So it will show you the duplicate lines. If any fixes are there, errors are there. So Sonar code review the code, will show you the fixes, errors. So it will provide you one report. So based on the reports, testers fix the issues. They remove the duplicate lines. Okay, and they can forward to Jenkins once they fix. So Jenkins take that war file or jar file that will be deployed onto respective target servers. Right? Yeah. And also one more tool is there, which is also very important tool. So which is Nexus repository tool. Nexus report. What is Nexus? What Nexus will do? Okay. Yeah. Whatever war files, jar files are generated by Maven, those war files we can store in Nexus here. Okay. So whenever we have release, by the time we can push this war files to respective target servers, right? So for example, there is a sprint, 1 week sprint. Today one sprint started. By Sunday EOD that should be completed. Once sprint is completed, so one war file will be generated. That war file we can store in the Nexus repo. Whenever we have release, that war file we can push to the respective target servers. We can deploy on the application server, that war file. Clear, right, everyone? Yeah. So this is complete flow, right? So SDLC, software development lifecycle. So every organization, every project team following the same flow, right? Yeah. So in place of Git, they can use Bitbucket, GitLab also. So yeah, GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, all the tools are same. If you understand GitHub or Git and GitHub, you can handle any tool, any repository, right? So if you are good in driving, you can drive any car, right? So we have so many tools are there in the market, but these are the popular tools which we added into the course content. So these are the tools we are going to work on. So Git and GitHub, yeah, normally Git and GitHub takes 1 week in our sessions. We work on Git and GitHub 1 week, right? Jenkins, Jenkins 9 days nearly. We work on Jenkins. So every tool will go very deep dive. Okay. Yeah, it's very important. Next one, we have another tools also, which are very advanced tools like Ansible. What is Ansible? Anyone? Anyone having idea? What is Ansible? What Ansible will do? Ansible is a configuration management tool, right? So deployment tool. Ansible, we can say deployment tool. So we can use the deployments by using Ansible. So by single click, we can deploy a number of applications. So when we discuss about Ansible in the first demo we discussed, right? Ansible. By single click, we can deploy Java on 1,000 servers, 10,000 servers also by using Ansible. So we can say single click deployments, right? So Ansible is a configuration management tool, right? So by using Ansible, we can deploy code, applications, whatever you want to deploy. Single click deployments. Okay. Yeah. So next tool is Docker. Docker. What is Docker? Container tool. Docker is a container tool, right? What is container? Anyone? Yeah. So container is it's a small box, for example. Container in general container is a box, right? Yeah. So in the technical term, we can say standard unit of software. Container is a standard unit of software. So it is a box. This box we can move anywhere, we can use anywhere, right? So containers are advanced to virtual servers. Containers are advanced to virtual servers. Currently, in AWS, we are using cloud servers. These are the cloud servers, right? These are the virtual servers. In AWS, we are using virtual servers, cloud servers, right? So these are the virtual servers. So containers are advanced to virtual servers. Containers are advanced to virtual servers. In Docker, we can get the containers, right? Yeah. So container is a box. We can move anywhere. We can use anywhere, right? Next one, Kubernetes. What is Kubernetes? Anyone? It is a container orchestration tool. Container orchestration. What is orchestration? What is orchestra? Anyone? What is orchestra? Anyone having idea? Group of music instruments, musicians, right? Yeah. So different instruments, different people play in the orchestra. So in the middle of the instruments, one person stands and he move the hands. That is his orchestration. He control all the instruments. He direct all the instruments. So Kubernetes is the orchestration tool, container orchestration. It will handle all the tools, all the servers, target servers. Okay. So while working on Kubernetes, I'll show you. So it is very smart, very advanced tool, advanced to Docker. Currently, most of the organizations they're using Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is having use demand, use requirements. If you are good in Kubernetes with AWS, you can easily crack your entry, right? So most of the project teams they are using Kubernetes currently. Even salary is also very good in Kubernetes. If you are good in Kubernetes and one cloud platform, you can easily crack your interview with very good packages. Okay. Yeah. Next tool here is Terraform. Terraform. What is Terraform? Yeah. It is a infrastructure automation tool. Infrastructure automation tool. So whatever infrastructure we are using in AWS, so that we can automate by using Terraform. For example, project team required 1,000 servers. By single click, by using Terraform, we can create 1,000 servers within a minute, right? So Terraform is a very advanced tool. So by using Terraform, any infrastructure we can create within a minute. Okay, yeah, and also Grafana, Prometheus. So Grafana and Prometheus, these two tools are monitoring tools in DevOps. We can say Kubernetes monitoring tools. right? Yeah. So Grafana, in Grafana, what we will do, we can monitor our Kubernetes pods, Kubernetes cluster, Kubernetes nodes, right? Prometheus, in Prometheus, what we will do, we create the dashboards. Okay. So how to monitor the Kubernetes using dashboard? What are the percentages, right? This is how we can configure in Prometheus. Okay. Yeah. So every tool will go very deep dive. Every tool will go very deep dive. So here, these are the advanced tools. So in this, yeah, in this first four tools, if you are good in one tool with cloud platform with Jenkins, so at least two tools required here, not only one tool. So if you are good in Kubernetes, that is one tool is enough. But Ansible, Docker, Terraform, along with the Ansible, Docker, Terraform, at least you required Jenkins also. Along with that, one cloud platform, right? You can easily crack your interview. So every tool will go deep dive. So within the 3 months, we'll go all the tools and we can cover interview sessions, interview preparations, and also resume preparation. So FAQs, topic wise, I cover, and also uh, yeah, tips and tricks. How can we present our skill sets, right? How can we perform in the activities, day-to-day activities, challenges, right? Real-time challenges. These all will be covered in our course. Clear it, everyone? Any questions up to here, anyone? So before going to I'll show you course content now. So before going through course content, anyone having any questions, you can ask me now. So Ansible, if you want to integrate with the Jenkins, we can integrate. Even Docker, Kubernetes also, you can integrate with the Jenkins. So if the requirement is, yeah, if any client asks you to integrate, how can we integrate? By installing plugin. Simple plugin. So once install the plugin, the tool will be integrated with the Jenkins. Okay. Yeah. Now let us go through course content. So I'll show you the course content. So our batch WhatsApp group already created. So in that group, people already added. Okay. So if you are interested, you can, yeah, if you're interested, you can add into WhatsApp group. So I'll show you the course content here. So course content is, yeah. So hope everyone got the course content right. Everyone received the course content right. Just a minute. This is loading. Just a minute.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes. Go ahead, please.
So all these tools, advanced tools, Grafana, etc., Kubernetes. So
Mhm.
can we get a grip on them within our course? Will we have good exercises to practice them? Or
Yeah, yeah. So within the course only, right? So why I'm writing here within the course only, right? Grafana Prometheus, how to monitor Kubernetes cluster, how can we create the dashboards, how can we check the percentages. So these all will be covered in our course.
any projects will be given, like a sample tasks?
Grafana
So
Prometheus, yeah, including Kubernetes, we get one. We work on one project. We work on one project in Kubernetes. By the time I'll show you Grafana Prometheus. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Now, this is our course content. So DevOps with AWS, right? So what is DevOps? Introduction of DevOps, right? So first, our course starts with AWS. Okay. Tomorrow, day after, we are going to work on servers networks basics. Okay. So before going to cloud platform, we need to understand the servers networks basics. Okay. So what is server? What is network? What is switch? What is router? What is load balancer? What is IP address? Gateway? And firewalls. These are all very important, right? Once complete that basic sessions, after that we'll jump into AWS. How to create AWS account? How can we connect AWS account? How can we navigate the services? Right? We walk through the console. So after that, we'll start the AWS services. Okay. First of all, we can see the AWS services here. Just a minute. Right. So these are the AWS services, Amazon Web Services, right? See here, introduction to cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Why cloud computing? Right? So Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 is the first service. EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. So to create instance is a server. In AWS, terminology is very important. Server we can call it as EC2 instance. EC2 full form is Elastic Compute Cloud, right? So by using Elastic Compute Cloud, so what are the activities we perform, right? We can create servers, we can stop servers, we can start servers, we can upgrade these servers, we can modify the servers, we can deploy the patches, we can upgrade the storage, right? Excuse me. Yeah. So EC2 is the first service. After that, so AWS regions zones also we discussed, right? And the introduction to these are the introductions. So after that, uh, yeah, EC2 creation. How can we get the EC2 instance? How can we work on that? So after that, network and security. So security groups are there. In security groups, inbound rules, outbound rules, elastic IPs, placement groups, key pairs, network interfaces. This is the networking concept, right? Network and security. We'll discuss here. And also EBS volumes, elastic block store. So different storages are there. First storage is EBS, elastic block store. So this storage is mainly for servers. We can create storage. We can attach to the EC2 instance server. Okay. ELB, elastic load balancing. Elastic load balancing, right? So how can we balance the load between the servers? How can we configure that? So these are all practically we'll see that, not theoretical concepts. Practically oriented. Practically will you work on this. Okay. Auto scaling. What is scaling anymore? What is scaling? Increasing, right? So auto scaling, automatically the servers will be increased. For example, currently we are using IRCTC application, right, to book the tickets. So normal time application will be accessible. Tatkal time application will not be accessible because high volume request will come to the application, right? So application will be down. Yeah. So that is the government side currently, government website. They are not upgrading. So if they enable the auto scaling, when Tatkal starts, when more requests are coming in, auto scaling automatically increase the resources, will increase the servers, right? Application will not be down anywhere, but government side there is no competition. There is no competition. That is why they are not upgrading. They are using the old methodology. But whereas Flipkart, if you go to Flipkart or Amazon shopping site, so they give some offers, big billion a day, weekend offers. So by the time, for example, they expected they gave some mobile offer, for example, mobile offer 40% 50% off mobile. So 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. they gave the offer. So by the time they expected 15,000 users, 15,000 users, right? 15,000 mobiles sold out they expected, but 25,000 users they try to book the mobile. In that case, if they have auto scaling, what will happen? Automatically servers will be increased to maintain the application up and running fine, right? So auto scaling is very core service, very important service. While working on auto scaling, how can we configure auto scaling? How can how the auto scaling work, how it will increase the servers. So whenever there is no request, automatically this will remove the servers. Whenever the demand comes, servers will be added. Whenever there is no demand, servers will be automatically removed. That is auto scale, right? Yeah. So how to configure that? How can we work on that? So practically we'll see that. Okay. Next one, VPC, virtual private cloud. It's a networking part completely. So instead of the physical data center, we can create the virtual network, our own network, to control inbound, outbound traffic, right? So how can we configure VPC? How can we work on VPC? What is subnet? What is gateway? And what is peering? VPC peering. VPC peering is two networks we can establish. So we have one VPC in India, Mumbai region. Another VPC in Americas region. If you want to communicate, if you want to establish the connection between two VPCs, we require peering. So here peering is not there. Yeah. Yes. Right. So peering, VPC peering. See here. VPC peering and endpoints. VPC peering is the connection between two networks. How can we configure this? How can we establish the connection? How can we test? We'll see that practically. Next one, Amazon Route 53. The traffic, how can we route, right? That we'll see practically. And RDS, Relational Database Service. So database, we work on database here. Okay. And a CloudWatch is the monitoring tool. In AWS, monitoring tool. AWS monitoring tool is CloudWatch and CloudTrail. Two monitoring tools are there. In DevOps, Grafana, Prometheus. Okay. Yeah. So and also IAM service, identity and access management. IAM service. So it is all about user management. How can we get the user? How can we log in as a user? How can we give the permissions to user? How can we control the users? How can we restrict the users? We'll see that practically. And Amazon, we can compare it to Google Drive. In AWS, there is a service, S3 simple storage service, which is very important service. Okay, and a cloud formation is one of the automation service, right? We'll see that. And SES, simple email service. Okay, yeah. So if you want to send bulk emails, normally, for example, when we go to shopping, like supermarkets, hypermarkets. So when we shop any items, right, they take our number. So when they have any offers, they send bulk SMSs, bulk emails. So they configure one domain in that they add all the numbers when they have any offers. Currently, some offers going on, right? So in the supermarkets and shoppings, we are getting bulk messages, right? Bulk messages and emails. So who will send that? SCS will send that. SCS, simple email service. Okay. Yeah. Next one, SQS, simple queue service. What is queue service? For example, when we book any mobile through Flipkart or Amazon shopping site, so when we book the mobile, we'll get one message first. Your order has been placed, right? Once the mobile is reached to your city, we get one more message. The item is out for delivery. Once the mobile is delivered, we get one more message. Your product has been delivered successfully. Who will send that? SQS will send that. Simple queue service. Right? Next one, AWS Lambdas. What is Lambda? So Lambda is a service it will operate our infrastructure. Lambda operate our infrastructure. How would you operate? For example, so in our project we have 1,000 servers are there. So in which 500 servers are non-prod servers, non-production servers, development servers, test servers. Those servers we start at 9 a.m. we stop at 6 p.m. For example. So 500 servers every day start. That is big challenge. So we configure Lambda here. Lambda operate our infrastructure. So Lambda start our servers exactly what we give the schedule 9 a.m. It will stop by 6 p.m. Automatically stop will be happened through Lambda. We don't need to operate, right? Yeah. So Lambda also very important service. And also next one, SNS, simple notification service. SES, SQS, SNS, three notification services. So this is a notification service, right? So for example, SQL utilization is utilizing higher, 90%. We get notified through email service, email, SNS, notification service. Or else service down, we get notified through email. Or else server is restarted, we get notified through email, right? And AWS backup, next one is AWS backup. So what is backup, anyone? So the important data we can store alternate location. In case the service crash, disk is failure, we can recover from the backup device. So backup also very important. In backup, we use the different strategies: daily backup, weekly backup, monthly backup, on-demand backup. What is on-demand? Immediately, instantly, right? Yeah. So these are the strategies we use in backup. Next one, Elastic Beanstalk. What is Beanstalk? Right? So Beanstalk is a service to create infrastructure, to create environment, right? So that will go very deeper. So next one, resume preparation, interview preparation, and frequent asked questions, certification, support also I give you. If you need any support, if you need any support to clear the exam, I give you support also, right? Yeah. So this is the content, AWS content. Next one, let us go with the DevOps course content. Yeah. So we see here DevOps, even Linux. Yeah. In between, once we start the AWS services, after few days we can start Linux. Okay. So Linux takes nearly 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Yeah. In DevOps, these are the introductions. These are the SDLC and Agile Scrum. After that, see here. Shell scripting also will be covered. This will take weekend workshop. Weekend workshop. Last Saturday, one workshop happened for the previous batches. Okay. Yeah. So first tool is Git. In our first tool is in our course, first tool is Git in DevOps. Git is source code management or version control. We discussed already today. So Git will go very deep dive. Takes 5 hours, 5 days, right? 5 days, 5 working days. So after that, Jenkins, Jenkins, Jenkins will go very deep dive. Okay, it takes nearly 8 to 9 days. Okay, so Maven also will go very deep dive, and also yeah, after that Ansible is very core tool. Docker also very go will go very deep dive, and Kubernetes, Terraform also will go very deep dive, and Grafana Prometheus also will go very deep dive. Okay, so all the tools, not only installation configuration, will go very deep dive. So we can work on practically. We can see that in real-time projects, whatever we perform, same activities we can perform in our sessions also, right? So everyone should practice daily basis. If you practice daily basis, within 3 months you can easily crack your entry, right? So cracking entry is very simple, very easy. But entry, once you get into the project, that is very important. So to handle the tasks, you need to practice. Okay. Yeah, these are the DevOps tools. So I'll share with you course content. If you need course content, you can WhatsApp me. You can say hi, so that I'll share with you this course content. So anyone newly joined today? Online guys. So anyone newly joined today? Can you share your WhatsApp
Yes, sir.
number and email address in the chat?
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll
So
just
my
ping
mobile
it.
number is 9111711. So this is my mobile number. So in the WhatsApp, yeah, WhatsApp group already created. So you can share your WhatsApp number, email address in the chat here, go to meeting chat, so that we will provide you previous recordings and course content. Any
Okay,
questions,
thank you.
anyone so far? Anyone having any questions? So tomorrow we are going to work on servers and network basics. Okay, tomorrow day after. After that, we'll start AWS. Okay. Yeah. So if you are interested, you can add into WhatsApp group. Okay. Today you can add into WhatsApp group. So tomorrow onwards, maybe link will be changed. Okay. Meeting link online guys. So even classroom guys also. Yeah, our people will come and check. Okay. So if you are interested, you can add into WhatsApp group. So you can make the fee and you can share the screenshot to me so that I'll add into WhatsApp group. Fine. Yeah. Tomorrow onwards, regular sessions will be started. Fine. Yeah, we can wind up here. So if you have any more questions, you can WhatsApp me, you can call me on my mobile number here. Do we cover Nagios not required? Advanced tools we are using right here. So Nagios is very old one. This is also monitoring. Nagios is also monitoring tool, right? We are using 4 tools, monitoring tools. What are those? CloudWatch, CloudTrail, Grafana, Prometheus. Those are enough to you.
So JFrog చెప్పరా సార్?
JFrog actually currently we are not using much in much projects. Okay, okay. If it is required, we'll see that not an issue.
AWS లో కూడా EKS తీసుకొచ్చాను.
EKS will be covered. Yes.
అంటే లేదు సార్.
No, no, no. Here EKS will be covered in Kubernetes.
The Datadog, all those alerts for that also will get.
Yeah. While working on Kubernetes, we are going to work on EKS. Elastic Kubernetes Service, which is very, very important, right? See, EKS setup and deployments also. EKS setup and deployments. Okay. Not only installation. So we can deploy the applications. Yeah. Someone saying something. Go ahead, please.
Well, this Datadog alerts usually we get. So that is from which tool, and will we cover that tool?
Which one? Can you come again?
Datadog.
Datadog not there here. Okay. That is database.
Okay.
Not database. Datadog is monitoring, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
that is not required here. Okay. So we are going to work on 4 different monitorings. Okay. So Datadog is not required here. Okay. So Nagios also not required. So we have Prometheus, Grafana. Those are very powerful tools, right? Fine. Yeah. If you have any more questions, you can ping me, can call me after this session. I will discuss. Okay. And yeah, so tomorrow onwards, regular sessions will be started. So if you are interested, you can add into WhatsApp group. Fine. Yeah. Thank you all.